Arman Tsarukyan just opened up about his relationship with Dana White during a Russian press conference, and the Armenian lightweight made it clear there is absolutely no tension between him and the UFC. He even revealed that he's lined up as a backup for the interim lightweight title at UFC 324 in January, not as an official backup who weighs in and stays in fight week, but rather he'll just keep his weight in check so that if the UFC calls him about a week in advance, he'll be ready to step in. Arman's plan shows how professional and ready he is, keeping himself in shape and prepared without being tied down in the official fight week setup. On top of that, Ilia Topuria's recent step away from fighting might actually be a blessing in disguise for Arman. Everyone assumed he would have to sit out for the rest of 2026, but with Topuria on pause, Arman now has a real shot to fight the winner of Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett if El Matador's absence continues. Arman is keeping busy and sharp as he's set to face Shura Bullet in a grappling match on December 30th. He's using this as a way to stay active and in peak physical condition, making sure he's ready if the UFC calls him to step in for a fight in January. Because of Arman's dislike for Paddy, he offered to help Justin in camp, and here's how the highlight responded to Tsarukyan's offer.
Arman Tsarukyan wants to help you train for Paddy Pimblett. Did you see that? He wants to offer his services to you.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I would say that from my perspective, that was more of him trying to go against Paddy rather than help me. But, I'm not going to go and start making drastic changes in my training camps when it comes to getting ready for these fights. I trust the team that I have. I will bring in training partners. But ultimately, I'm not going to bring in guys that I'm probably and possibly going to fight in the future. I got nothing against. I mean, he'd be a great training partner, but ultimately, I might have to fight him one day, so that'd be not smart.
Ilia Topuria being absent from the title picture for the next few months might actually be a blessing in disguise for UFC fans. When he finally does return, the matchup could be immediate and massive, a showdown with Islam Makhachev at welterweight. If Topuria's lawsuit drags on as long as it looks like it will, the UFC might have no choice but to strip him of the lightweight belt, which opens up a clearer path for him at 170 pounds. Pundits like Chael Sonnen are already weighing in, saying that when Ilia comes back, the UFC will have an easier call to make about giving him a welterweight title shot, rather than moving him up as a reigning lightweight champ. This scenario becomes even more likely if Justin Gaethje beats Paddy Pimblett and claims the interim belt, since Ilia himself has confirmed that the UFC has specific plans lined up for Justin in that case. Fans could be looking at a dream matchup at welterweight sooner rather than later. Ilia gave his first interview since the lawsuit drama, but he didn't comment on it directly. Instead, he focused on his sport and career, sharing his goals, like wanting to fight in Madrid, without addressing the controversy. Let's hear what Chael Sonnen has to say regarding this situation.
Islam versus Ilia isn't huge, but now they got something to fight about. And you're not going to be able to get them together if Ilia remains the 55-pound champion, not for the White House long or even for some special spoof, no matter how important. You're not going to let those boys get together. They can find their way to each other very easily, as long as Ilia isn't holding up a division any more than Islam's holding up a division. So if we have the ability to get the belt off of Ilia without giving him a scratch, right? I mean, behind the scenes, you're giving him a bump anyway. Behind the scenes, you pulled him down in the rankings and put Islam, a guy who refused to fight him. You put a guy who refused to fight Ilia over Ilia. So you want a pound of flesh. It's very clear that you do. Just take the whole damn thing. Don't take a little version of his belt back. Take the entire belt back and let's let him float around. And then those two can find out the hard way, the way everybody else has to do it, who really is the best fighter in the world.
Islam Makhachev just held an interview with the Russian outlet Voice of MMA, and for the first time in a while, you could tell the Ilia Topuria situation finally got under his skin. After months of trash talk and perceived disrespect from Ilia, Islam went on a heated rant that felt way more emotional than usual, even slipping out a wife-beater remark about Topuria, something he likely wouldn't have said if he was calm and collected. That moment instantly lit up the MMA world, especially because the community is completely split on Topuria's ongoing lawsuit. Most fans are firmly in the innocent until proven guilty camp, while others are convinced Ilia is at fault despite there being no charges at all. For Dagestani fighters, though, this kind of situation hits differently. Their culture and religion place a huge emphasis on respect and protecting women, so these allegations tend to carry serious weight regardless of legal outcomes. We've seen this before too when Conor McGregor faced assault accusations and Khabib and his team went straight at him, even before any official statements or charges were made. This whole situation adds another another layer of tension to the Islam versus Ilia storyline, and whether fans like it or not, it's clearly gone way beyond just rankings and belts now.
Listen, if you ask me about Ilia, it's simple. This guy has a big mouth, always talking a lot, and a nice haircut, but that doesn't make him a real champion in my eyes. For a long time, I didn't even want to mention his name. Why should I? If I beat him, everybody would just say, he just beat another small guy, etc. It adds nothing big to my legacy. And now, when I see this so-called champion, this wife beater, ducking hard fights, making excuses, hiding from everything, it shows his real character, weak inside the cage and outside too. Still, I understand the interest. The fans want this fight very much. It's big money, a huge event, good for everybody. He goes on social media all the time, calls me boring, calls me a coward, but he's the one who dropped his belt and ran away from the killers like Movsar in his division. If the fans want to see him lose so badly, okay, we can make it happen. I don't choose opponents, I fight whoever the UFC gives me. Put him in front of me, I will make it easy. Same as always, and show him the levels he can't reach just by talking. But first, he needs to prove something real at lightweight, needs to defend properly.
Reinier de Ridder just called out Khamzat Chimaev after his embarrassing loss to Brendan Allen at UFC Vancouver. Most of the MMA community counted RDR out, but it looks like he's not done yet. In his recent interview with Home of Fight, de Ridder explained that his downfall came from overworking himself, saying he rushed his run toward the title and paid the price for it. 5 brutal weight cuts in 1 year completely drained him, and that exhaustion showed in his last performance. But now, Reinier says he's regrouped, will be fully recovered soon and ready to return. He made it clear that his ultimate goal is still Khamzat, and that's who he's chasing next. Right now, Chimaev is set to face Nasruddin Imavov, and if he wins, it's expected the next challenger will be the winner of Sean Strickland and Fluffy Hernandez. The middleweight division is absolutely stacked right now, and every fight seems to matter more than ever. There have also been talks of a potential fight between RDR and Paulo Costa, but nothing official yet. De Ridder says he's staying patient, watching the division unfold, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and this time, he promises it'll be different.
What is it?
Yeah, I fucked that up. I pushed myself a bit too far. The weight thing, it's not 30 pounds, but it was a lot again, and it's been like that for 5 times. I was just so focused on getting the title shot and being ready when it came that I just pushed my body to where it couldn't follow. It's something I dealt with in the past. Because I had this fight with Malik in the second fight. It was kind of similar. I was doing very well in the first round as well. And then third round, kind of the same thing. I just had nothing in me anymore. Couldn't stand up anymore. I don't know. There's this Twitter account trying to be me, so I think he still thinks that is me. So there might be he might be a little bit confused on that end. But yeah, it is what it is. We'll see.
If Khamzat's watching this right now, what are you gonna say to him?
If I'm the Twitter guy, I'm gonna say fuck you. No. Be patient, keep that title, and I'm coming for it soon.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.